Hello everyone, this is Flora and Priya and this is our database lab experiment number 10. So in today's experiment we had to show an application of database, and here we have an Android application which we developed for our Karunya University. This is a navigation application wherein we can locate the Karunya lands and retrieve its survey number details, person in charge details. So if you see, why do we need database in this? When we have a huge number of data, when we have a very large amount of survey lands, it's very difficult to store them in an array. So that is where we opt for a database, and whenever we want to insert those details, when it's going to be a dynamical entry and updating and deleting, that is why we go for database. Now in this application of ours, let's run the application. There are a lot of functions called insert data, update data, delete data. So these are used for its own purpose. Now so the application is loading. Now if you look at the screen, now there's mentioned database name. So our database name is details, our table name is Karunya ma'am. The other attributes like ID, name, person in charge, info, all of them become the columns of our table Karunya ma'am. So so here's our application. Now this is our login details. For time being we have used an array for storing login details, but if at all we have a number of users, we can use database to store login details, and then we can use grant permissions to allow only specific people to be able to access particular details. Now this is how our application works. Now this part is from where our database starts.
So in the database, we have two options like add and view. In the add, it works as the insert button. In the insert button, we get the option of adding the survey number. It will retrieve its data only if its compatible data type is given to it. For example, here I am giving it as a string and a number. The map has stopped. So if you give only its required data type, it will work then. In the add, what happens when you give the survey number and then you press the add option, the block that you have chosen from the list view, you need to add some details about it and click the save button. Now if you go to the view option, you have another two more options like update and delete. In the update, what you do is you need to update any of its details, like change the survey number, change the details, and so on. In the view, it has a delete option in which you can delete the data that you have saved. So this is our explanation for the database part.
So if you see, we've come down to update the details. Now you go back to delete the same details. So this is how our application is working right now. It goes to delete and it deletes. So what happens at this moment of time is whatever details that you've stored in the database, like as usual we have in any of the application which we developed earlier, it deletes from the main database. Now another important features of Android Studio that we use, it uses SQLite database. Whatever we done till now is Oracle database, but for Android Studio it uses SQLite database. Now this database that we have developed is only local to the device, which may vary if you change from one device to another. Now if you see how does this work.
Now here we can see that there's an info button. When the user clicks on that button, it goes to this on add function, which is in the main to activity. Now in this activity, we have created an object which further goes to the database, and it works on according to its functionalities.
So if you're seeing from maps activity, if we are directing it to main to activity, where in main to activity we have a object called handler, which refers to database handler.java. Now what we had in database.java is all our insert data, our update data function. So that's what it calls. It calls up the function, and it retrieves those data accordingly. So this is all about our application. Thank you.